Korean streamer killed by viewer who donated 70K. This is insane. And this is exactly what's scary about streaming, because there do be a lot of rich parasocial motherfuckers out here that be doing some crazy shit, chat, right? And I know none of y'all like that, but shit, as the bigger we get, the more prone we are to come across people like that, which is scary. But I do want to hear how this happened. Let's hear how this played out. I'm not gonna lie.
Now, in today's episode of Society Falling Apart at the Seams, we have a tragic story, a crazy story, in fact, of a Korean streamer by the name of Yoonji Ah, who was, according to Dexerto, found dead after an attack by a longtime viewer in her live streams who donated almost $70,000 to her. And I just gotta say, this is why not all money is good money.
Why are you donating $70,000 to a random creator? I'm gonna keep it a beam with y'all, chat. Oh my lord. I'm gonna keep it a beam with y'all, chat. I don't care how big and successful I get. I don't care what freaking future production I do, what subathon, follow-a-thon. I don't care what I do. I will never ever expect, I don't even want anybody to send me that kind of sum of money unless it's for a different kind of cause, right? Like, for example, if I'm doing like a subathon and maybe I'm having a charity that's a part of it, that's a different story. But if somebody's just randomly giving me that money, I wouldn't even feel good about that, bro. If you have 70K of disposable money, go give that to charity. Go build a freaking school or something. Do something better than give it to some random young girl, teenager, streamer, whatever it is, that don't even know what to do with that. That's what's insane to me, bro. Like, that's $70,000 to a random person you don't know is insane.
And a lot of this money, especially in a lot of female streamers' chats.
Sheep viewers on streamboo.com, I don't want anything to do with you. Wispy Electric, UV Way, whatever your name is. Everybody tell this motherfucker to get out my chat.
Donated by a lot of parally obsessed male viewers.
This is probably exactly how they look, bro. This is probably literally exactly how the guy looks.
Be very dangerous for the women receiving this money. Objectively, time and time again, we've seen guys just go way too far. They donate a whole bunch of money, assuming that that girl that is receiving the money that, you know, they watch on a daily basis is now obligated to return the favor in some way, shape, or form. And I'm pretty sure you guys understand how predictable this story is, right? Guy donates a whole bunch of money. He's in love with her, you know, watches her streams every day, assumes that donating tens of thousands of dollars to her, mind you, he's in serious debt. Apparently in the story, this man lost his whole house just trying to donate money to this girl, and ultimately ended up taking her life because she did not reciprocate the feelings and emotional investment that he had for her. This is why not all money is good money. Korean streamer murdered after arguing with VIP viewer who donated $70,000 to her. And before we go into the story, I just want to say a VIP viewer in a Twitch chat or any other live streaming service is basically viewers who donate so much money that after a certain point, automatically or manually, they get placed in some type of bracket or special group by the streamer to get acknowledged in the chat that, hey, this person right here chatting in our chat every day is basically a pay big. Acknowledge them. Honestly, if I ever got to that point, of which I never will, I'd be very embarrassed and shamed.
This is the double-edged sword with streaming, and I don't know why it's like this. I don't know if it's always been like this with other kind of entertainment routes, but it just feels like the parasocial relationships that people develop with these entertainers is at a whole new level. Like, I get it, like, you know, back in the day when celebrity culture was only actors and singers and athletes, like, there was a super fan syndrome where people would be overly obsessed with these people even though they didn't know them, and they would treat them like they're not human. I would get that, but I don't think it's ever gotten to this level because streaming brings a whole new level of like connectivity that most people have never seen before, right? Like the fact that I could talk to y'all live from my bedroom, right, and we can have a conversation and engage with one another is a whole different form of connection rather than you watching the damn ball game or you going to a movie theater, right? It's like a one and done thing. We're here, it's like we're hanging out essentially. You know what I mean? And then you got these people that develop such sick relationships in their head and forget the fact that one, that streamers are human beings like anybody else. We just got a goddamn camera on. And two, that you don't know these people. You've never met them, but you have this imaginary story in your head that just because you give somebody a bunch of money that they owe you their life or something. And that's the thing. That's why I give a lot of props to a lot of female streamers, y'all, because let's be real. The difference between the experience of a male streamer and a female streamer is night and day. I don't know if y'all tapped in with like Senna and what's her name? The Valkyrie. I don't even know how to say her damn name. I only know Senna really, but Senna, Valkyrie, and the other girl, whatever her name is, they were all doing a stream in Santa Monica, which I used to go all the time, bro. I used to live in LA, y'all. And they literally got attacked by a stalker. A stalker tried to get a number, and he said nah, and they said nah. And then he ran up on them and said, "I'm gonna kill you," because he wouldn't get a number. Like, that's what's so insane about the streaming shit to me, is how do people literally function thinking that this is the right way to get. Yeah, you're not gonna riz like that, bro. You're not. And the unfortunate reality is that that's mostly gonna happen to female streamers rather than male streamers. And obviously male streamers gonna deal with some shit too, but it's just a different kind of battle that we gotta face. You know what I mean? It's different.
Like, please don't put a little icon next to my name, basically telling everybody in the chat that I'm basically a walking human ATM for you. And by the way, here's an image of the streamer, as you can see. They say a Korean streamer has been found dead and a viewer has been arrested for murder after donating tens of thousands of dollars to her. Yoon Ji Ah, a TikToker and live streamer with over 300,000 followers, was discovered on a mountainside in Muju County, North Jeolla Province on September 11th.
On September 11th, too?
Signs of bruising and strangulation. So obviously,
that's just a bad day for the world, bro. September 11th just got some bad luck in it.
Obviously, this guy was very angry and very violent. Likely, if you can imagine, had her pinned down on the ground with his hands around her neck, preventing her from breathing. Police believe she was killed about 30 minutes after her final broadcast ended. And just to show you guys,
bro, she probably got stream sniped. I'm telling you, bro. That's oh my God, bro.
TikTok right now, a little bit of what she does, as you can see here.
She looks hella young.
Right. As someone stated in the comment section, this video was 1 day before she died. Here's another video. Right, so it just looks like she's like a little cutesy little,
she do look AI, I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Type streamer. You know, a lot of Asian, Japanese, Korean, South Asian streamers tend to fit this mold, this aesthetic. They like to, you know, do little cutesy little videos like this and fit that type of caricature. And obviously, any guy, any for a lack of better words, seeing this type of content, you know, seeing what she looks like, you know, she's definitely cute. Would slowly, you know, become parasocially obsessed. You know, seeing this, it's normal. I'm gonna be honest for both sexes, but sometimes a lot of people can go too far. You know, they get ideas in
with
their
the
head
female streamers. I'm telling you,
things, and they slowly fantasize about particular things that may never ever happen because A, she doesn't know you, you don't know her, really, truly. You're just another person in her chat, and I mean, good God, guys, like I need people to fix their mental health because this is just not mentally healthy for people to get this obsessed and attached to people to the point to where they're losing their own homes, their houses, and donating $70,000 to people who they're never gonna see in real.
$70,000. Do y'all understand how much money that is? $70,000. Bro, if I had 70 racks right now, I mean, look, I'm gonna take over the world regardless. But if I had 70 racks right now, that would accelerate this process a lot faster. That's all I'm gonna say.
Life, but in this case, he actually met up with her. Let's get back to the story. They say the suspect, a man in his 50s, identified only as Choi, was a longtime supporter who had donated roughly 100 million won, about $70,000, under the nickname Black Cat.
50s? Bro, he's old enough to be her dad, bro. I didn't even know. Oh my God, bro. I didn't even know that. He's old enough to be her father, and he's over here stalking somebody like
Yeah, a man in his 50s doing that. $70,000, nicknamed Black Cat. Hell no. That's already sketchy. They say he allegedly told Yoon he was the CEO of an IT company, but reports later revealed he was deeply in debt and his home had been seized in a forced auction. So this man was basically LARPing as a rich, wealthy baller kind of guy. He was LARPing, you know, which means live action role playing, gaming lingo. You're pretending to be something you're not. He was pretending to be a high roller, a guy, a wealth.
What's good, Galax? Bro, if you down bad like this, get some hoes at least for this money and don't donate it. You funny as hell, Chopper. You're right though, bro. Like the thing is though, is I think his mentality was that he was so down bad and he was bankrupt and losing money and all these different things where I think he's like, you know what, I'm gonna go out with a bang, bro. I don't give a fuck about life no more and I'm gonna just do my thing. But like, bro, $70,000, y'all. I don't know how many times I gotta repeat that, but that's egregious, bro. That's freaking insane.
guy with a lot of
Insane.
money that he can splurge on any, streamers that he wants. But apparently he's just a guy in his 50s, highly in debt, lost his home.
Old
He
enough to
got
be her
mad.
father.
I guess he was trying to buy her affection, and then, hey, as predictable as it always is, she didn't like him. She didn't want him. Based off of other reports I heard, she tried to cut ties with him after. Well, let's get back into the story. But just know that he was living kind of a double life. She fell for.
What's going on, Galax? Okay, so basically, as y'all can see by the headline right here in this pause, viewer confesses to killing streamer over business dispute. Basically, he tried to rizz up a girl by donating $70,000 to her, streamer platform, and she didn't like him. She didn't want him, and he took her life. Yeah. What? All caps is the exact reaction, brother. And he went by the alias Black Cat, and he's old enough to be her father, and he's doing this kind of freaking hooting and hollering bullshit.
And as you can see here, Choi convinced Yoon to enter a business partnership with him after becoming a VIP level donor on her live streams. Keep in mind, he was pretending to be a high roller, a baller, CEO of his own company. Meanwhile, he's just a guy in his 50s who's broke as hell and lost his house. They say, though, however, Yoon had recently tried to cut ties, assuming she found out about this lie. Reportedly exhausted by his controlling behavior and demanding schedule. CCTV footage captured Choi kneeling and begging Yoon shortly before the killing. That is crazy. I have not seen the CCTV footage at all. But just to clarify here, Choi, the guy who donated this money, was on his knees kneeling, I suppose, because she wanted to cut ties, or she, may have been rejecting him at that point in time because he revealed his true feelings, his romantic advances, right? And she wanted to cut ties after finding.
So you gon' ask her out, and if you don't secure the girl, your mindset is I'ma take her life. That's your thought process, bro. Where do these people come from? I'm really trying to understand where these people come from. Okay, who was the streamer that got murdered? He'll probably pop up again on Photo Galax, but I honestly. I'm going to look up the CCTV footage. If it's not TOS, we'll watch it too.
About this creepy ulterior motive. They say investigators believe the fatal encounter occurred at around 3:27 p.m. when Yoon was seen being pulled back into her car against her will. Her cause of death was confirmed as asphyxiation.
Oh, he choked her out.
To neck compression.
He choked her out, bro.
She was strangled. He had his hands around her neck and basically choked the life out of her, bro. She could not breathe. After the murder, Choi was seen carrying a suitcase and making multiple stops to throw police off his trail before abandoning Yoon's body on the mountainside. He was arrested 12 hours later. While he denied killing the streamer, confessed after the authorities found the body. In a couple of photos I do want to show here is the mountainside of which her body was found in a suitcase. Oh my God. So clearly this guy drove, into the country.
In a suitcase?
To abandon the body, but he was captured on CCTV. He didn't, he was too emotional to kind of plan this out. This was, I suppose, in the heat of the moment, a crime of passion. One thing I was able to find, and I couldn't translate it, obviously, because I don't know what's going on in terms of my browser extension, but now, ladies and gentlemen, one thing I was able to find was a video from a Korean media outlet. Apparently, they're coming out with a documentary surrounding how this woman died that says,
we might watch that, y'all.
An influencer and Jeju
we might have to watch that.
Pigeons, right? And in this little snippet, I was able to see some footage, blurred of course. I guess there was some kind of investigation in Korea, and as you can see here, let me pause this, is the suitcase that was found, right? With her body found inside of it on the side of the
How do you even fit her in a suitcase?
Here, as you can see, is the footage, right? Of apparently this guy kneeling in front of her before he killed her. Now, for obvious reasons, because they want to kind of hype up their documentary, they're not going to really show the clear image, right? But it's just crazy to me, bro, that this actually happened. And now people are saying, who is the VIP killer? I'm not sure if they're still hiding his identity, like his face. Here we have another Korean comment saying, we pray, and I'm using a browser extension, by the way. We pray for the repose of the deceased soul. Somebody said, this is what happens when you like free stuff. Let's live right. Another person said, I should have stopped my daughter from using SNS. I feel like I'm the victim, but as a parent, I should have stopped her from... I don't know what that means. Guys, this translation isn't perfect. I'm using a browser extension. Apologies. But ladies, I just gotta say, please be careful about the money you're accepting from particular people online. Like, these people are in real life, and if they're in your proximity, they may have feelings, very strong obsessive feelings towards you, of which you don't reciprocate. And if you don't reciprocate, they may have something in their mind mind where they want to kill you, bro. I literally
so
talked about this in
sad,
my
bro.
other video
That's
about this
crazy.
guy. I forgot his name, from New Jersey, the 17-year-old, right? Got rejected. Ran this girl over along with her best friend on an e-bike. I mean, it's crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, though, let me know
What
your
is
thoughts and
wrong
opinions
with
down
people?
below about this. What do you think about the situation? Also, be sure to head on over to my Instagram page. Follow me. Give me a DM if you want me to talk about any other stories or topics.
Enough of the self promo, my brother. Enough of the self promo. Great video though. Great video. The world is disgusting though, bro. You telling me that there are just people out there. Actually, hold on. I think he literally, that was one of his one of his videos. So you're telling me somebody said they're gonna run someone over? God, bro. I really want to know what's wrong with the world, man. I don't know if it has to do with like a mental thing. I don't know if it's a freaking genetic thing. I don't know if it's an environment thing, how you were raised. Because I'm thinking of my life, right, Chad? I'm thinking like, bro, my life has been relatively chill, right? I grew up a very nice upbringing. Like, we didn't have a lot of money coming up, but, you know, I was always raised to be respectful and nice and have good friends. And, you know, I did my thing, and I had a very normal life, right? And there was never a time in my mind where it crossed for me to think, oh yeah, I'm angry. Let me go freaking shoot a school or run somebody over. You know what I mean? Or some crazy shit. Like, I don't know how this happens. I don't know if it's a mental imbalance or if it's like people just be, I don't know, bro. It's insane. I don't even want to try to understand it because it's such a horrible aspect of life. But goddamn, bro, Korean streamer, man, R.I.P. her. I forgot her name, June or Jin or something, but R.I.P. her, bro. And I will say this too. I think that all female streamers of any kind of relevance gotta have security. I'm just being real. I hope people don't say, oh, that's sexist. Like, no, I care about women. I'm trying to protect y'all, right? I think that they all should have security. I think streamers in general of any relevance should have security, but more so females and males, obviously, because it'd be crazy out here, man. It'd be crazy out here. R.I.P. the Korean streamer. Goddamn.
Shade on my neck is so bright like a bee. Ballin' LA and I feel like Kareem. Run up a mill at my nigga make me. Know that the money is all that you see.